Hi. Hey. Hi. I'm good. I'm doing great. How are you doing? Any advice for family meat eaters trying to be vegan? Just do the best you can and like do what you can control. So like if you go out to eat with friends or something, like that's something you have control over. If you can try to go grocery shopping with your family, like try to pick things, you know, it's like, it's really not expensive. It really isn't. And it gets easier with time. Like you start to learn what, you know, like vegan meats and cheeses like aren't any more expensive than regular, honestly. Like, unless it's like the gourmet stuff, but I mean that's with anything. Like, but my staples are really cheap. Like I usually get like beans, rice, tofu, pasta, whole wheat, like that kind of thing. Rory's great. She's right here. So I'll just go ahead and say what we're making today. So I made this recipe a couple days ago, a week ago maybe, I don't know. I made it for a friend's birthday. They're vegan, they've been vegan for like 3 years, and they said like one of the things they missed that they haven't had in a long time was a Boston cream pie. It's actually a cake. I learned that because I thought it was like a tart, and he said that I was horribly wrong. It's not a tart, it's a cake. But anyways, I looked up a recipe for it. I tried it last week, and it turned out really, 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 really well. So this is not my recipe. It's by a baker called Gretchen's Bakery. If you just look up vegan Boston cream pie, it's like the second one to come up. And it just looks the best to me. Like I kind of go through recipes and I just see like what the ratings are. And if it has like a ton of like 5-star ratings, then I'll try to make it. But yeah, this is not my recipe. The only thing I modified slightly was like the ganache that goes on top. But like even that is like not like my recipe, so it's like this is Gretchen's Bakery recipe. But I'm gonna try to make it in front of you guys. Okay, so I will go ahead and get started. So the first thing you need to do is you need to get your flaxseed going, your flaxseed egg. So I've got flaxseed meal right here. It is 4 tablespoons, and I just heated up my water for about 30 seconds. So let me grab it real quick. In a second. Yeah, it's 4 tablespoons flaxseed meal, which is this stuff. And you can get this at Kroger, Walmart, anywhere. Like you can literally get it anywhere. Flaxseed, well, almost anywhere, pretty much. But it's just flaxseed meal. It's not expensive. So I've got 10 tablespoons of hot water here. I heated it for about a minute originally and then heated it for another 30 seconds. So you're just gonna pour that into your flaxseed mixture and then just kind of stir it a little bit. And it looks runny right now, but if you let it sit for a few minutes, it'll start to thicken up and then it'll be exactly like the same idea as like eggs and baking. I'm gonna just set that to the side. See, it's already starting to goop up. So like, so it's like starting to become like kind of runny. The longer it sits, the more it kind of thickens up, and then it becomes exactly like an egg, which is just used for binding in most baking. So like eggs are not necessarily used for flavor in most like cakes and that kind of thing. They're just used to like bind ingredients together. And the flaxseed, when it's mixed with hot water, does the exact same thing. Yeah, can you hear Rory squealing in the back? Just being goofy. Okay, and the next thing you want to do to get started is you want to take 1 and a half cup soy milk, almond milk, coconut milk, any kind of non-dairy milk. And you want to mix 1 tablespoon of white vinegar in it. So I've got 1.5 cups of this type of non-dairy milk right here. I like to use this kind because to me it's the closest to milk. It's unsweetened original almond breeze. And I'm gonna do 1 tablespoon of just white vinegar. You can get this anywhere. It's just white vinegar. And I'm gonna do 1 tablespoon of that. And you want to just put that in there because what it does is it like sours the milk, and it kind of like acts as like a buttermilk type thing. So I put that in there and I'm gonna mix it. So I've got my flax eggs started. Now you can see it's starting to get like even thicker. Now I'm gonna mix my milk mixture with the vinegar. All right, and next we're gonna mix our dry ingredients. So I've already got that started. It is 2.5 cups cake flour. But the thing is, I don't have cake flour, so I used regular flour, just regular old flour, and I put 6 tablespoons of cornstarch in it because cake flour, I guess, has more of like a starchiness to it to help it, I don't know if it helps it stand better or what, I'm really not sure. But like it's meant to like act differently than a regular flour. So I put 6 tablespoons of cornstarch in there already. And then I need to do 4 teaspoons of baking powder. So got my teaspoon here. I'm gonna do 4 teaspoons of baking powder. And that's just regular baking powder. And then I'm gonna do 1/2 teaspoon salt. Also, yeah, I'm looking, I forget things the second I like look at them, so like I have my little receipt instructions here. I try to measure everything out before I start doing the live, but it's hard because I don't have enough bowls and I need to go buy some and I keep talking about doing that and I never do. So 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. And that's it for the dry mixture. Now we're gonna do the sugar with the butter. So I've got, I'm wearing this because it is so comfortable and I have so much of like their stuff and it's great and I love it. Like it's really comfy. Like all their stuff is like super soft. Okay, so I've got 12 tablespoons of butter. I already put it in here. It's cold butter, vegan butter. It's Smart Balance. Again, not certified vegan, but everything in it is vegan. But it's not certified, so it's like not gotten the seal of vegan approval, I guess, but it is vegan. I don't know. But I like that, and then Earth Balance butter works really well. Or I even have like, let me show you. Miyoko's. This is a really good vegan butter too. This is really good for baking. So now for that, I'm gonna do 1.5 cups sugar. Sorry, I'm like trying to read what you guys are saying. And okay, so 1.5 cups sugar I'm gonna add to that butter mixture. I'm just gonna put that in the butter. Also, I've said this many times, but for those that have not seen me say this for the 100th time, I'm using this brand of sugar. You can use any kind of vegan sugar, but just keep in mind that not all sugar is vegan. This specifically says no bone char. Yeah, that's a thing. So yeah, you want to get like organic or like something that says that to know for sure that it doesn't have like animal bone char in it. And that's because animal bone char is used as a filler in sugar. It's kind of like cutting it with just something cheaper to make it cheaper. So I need 1.5 cups sugar. Alright, and then you just want to whip this together. Bone char, it's literally like animal bones burned into a powder. That's literally what that means, is it's like, it's leftover like animal carcass that's burned into like a powder, or their bone that's burned into a powder that's used as a filler and sugar because it makes the product cheaper because, yeah, it's gross. It's really gross. So just informing you guys of that. That's a thing. All right, let me grab my mixer. Yeah, ew, right? It's fucking gross. But that's a thing. So yeah, now I'm just gonna whip my butter and sugar mixture together and then try to do it over here so you guys don't have to listen to it. It takes a minute to get it like whipped all the way. Rory always joins me. She's always like right there. Yeah, you can find vegan sugar. You can find vegan sugar in most places. Like, you just have to look and see if it's like, if it's organic, it's usually vegan. I want to say it's always vegan, but I'm not positive on that. But it's really, it just takes a second to look, to double check. Trying to whip this like away because it's loud. But I don't know if stevia is, I think stevia is vegan. I don't see why it wouldn't be. Yeah, I used to have snake bites for a really long time. A really long time. I had them until I met Jeff, and then I finally like took them out. I kind of went back and forth. I'd take them out for a while, keep them on for a while. I used to have my septum pierced too. And I'm trying to think of what else. I did them myself, so they didn't really hurt that bad. I did them in art class when I was in high school, and my teacher was like, my art teacher was horrified. I did them with like a sewing needle. I do not recommend that. Don't do that. But I was, you know, I thought I was edgy and cool, and I really wanted snake bites, so, and I didn't want to get them done by a professional, which I should have, but yeah. I don't want any more piercings. I like the ones I have now, and I think I want to keep it at that. Same with my tattoos. Like, I've been thinking about it, and it's like, I don't really know if I want any more tattoos, or I think I just want to stick with what I've got for now. Okay, this is pretty much done. Okay, so I've got whipped butter and sugar. And next I'm going to do is add my flax egg. Yeah, I got my septum pierced for my 18th birthday. Now, it was because I was going to get a tattoo for my 18th birthday, but, like, the shop was, they were like, we're closing in 10 minutes. What do you want? And I'm like, what can you do really fast? It's my 18th birthday, and I'm legally allowed to do this now. So I got my septum pierced. That's how that happened. So now our flax egg is ready. You can see it's like a gross consistency, but that's good because you want it to be like that because that makes it like egg whites, an egg. So I'm going to pour that into my butter mixture. Alright, so I'm going to put that in there. Then I'm going to add my vanilla. So for the vanilla, I want to add, let me see this real quick, 1 teaspoon. And I'm using baking vanilla just because I feel like it has a stronger flavor. This is a half teaspoon, so I'm going to do 2. 1, 2. And then I'm gonna whip that again just for like a second. Okay. So I got that whipped. Now I'm gonna start adding my dry ingredients and my wet ingredients alternating. So I'm gonna put a little bit of the flour mixture, which I'm using a big sifter. And I'm gonna do like a little bit of that. And then I'm gonna start adding some of my wet ingredients, which is like the vinegar and milk that we talked about earlier. So I've got my almond milk and my vinegar, and I'm gonna start mixing that. Just a little at a time. How to reduce acne. About the acne thing, do you drink milk? Like, I'm not just saying this because of the vegan thing, but like honestly, like when I stopped drinking like cow milk, that seriously helped me so much. Like, I used to have really bad acne as a teenager, and quitting drinking milk, like actually, like cheese and all that really helped a lot. That's like a thing. Pour a little more flour in here. If you like milk, like seriously, like if you haven't tried this, I tried a million different like non-dairy milks that I didn't care for until I found this one. So I would just suggest trying more until you find one that you like, and then over time, like you will start to like it more. Like I swear that it takes like 6 months and your taste like will completely change. I really swear by that, because that's what happened to me, because there was a lot of things I didn't like at first. And then over time, it became like the norm to me. So it started becoming easier. And it became things that I craved more. So I'm going to mix the rest of my flour, well, most of it, and the milk. I'm going to do the rest of the flour. And I use a sifter because it makes it a lot lighter and fluffier, I think. Like, I've noticed a difference since I started using one. I went to, like, a kitchen store. It was, like, $10. And I really recommend it. Yeah, cutting down on dairy helps with a lot of things. Like, I used to want, like, I never was overweight or anything like that, but, like, I wanted to lose a good amount of weight, like, that I needed to lose, because I felt, for me, it was too much, and cutting out cheese and, like, dairy was what got me to where I wanted to be. Like, now I feel like I'm healthy. Like, before I felt, like, kind of, like, slugged down. I don't know how to explain it, but other than, like, I don't know, I feel, like, healthier now. Like, and that was what changed. Like, going vegetarian, like, didn't really help as much as I thought it would, but then as soon as I cut out dairy and cheese, like, that helped significantly. Okay, so our batter is done. Now I've got a nice cake batter. And I'm going to put that into my cake pans. So I like soy milk sometimes. It just depends. Depends what I'm making. So I'm going to take these 8-inch round pans. You can spray them with any kind of non-stick that's vegan. I don't know what's not, because it's usually just vegetable shortening. But I'm just going to spray it. If you love cheese, there's so many like non-dairy cheeses out there that are really good, I promise. Like, I swear that, like I've said before, over time, it gets easier and easier, and you'll start to crave the things that you didn't like at first. I swear by that, because that's what happened to me. I didn't like vegan cheese at first, but then I tried a different brand, and like that brand was way better than the last brand I tried. And then there's just so many different ones out there now. All right, let me get a spoon. Oh, I just dropped a big thing of that on my foot. So you want to get these cake pans about even. Another thing is if you live in an area that you can't find vegan cheese easily, which Walmart does sell like chow, they sell chow cheese now. But if you live in an area where it's harder for you to get that kind of stuff, I've started making it. It's honestly a lot easier than you would think. Like I made vegan ricotta the other night, and it was just blanched slivered almonds, nutritional yeast, salt, water. It really wasn't, lemon juice, and that's it. And like I made like ricotta tasting cheese stuff. Sorry, this is time consuming. Getting all the, I don't like to waste anything, so try to get all the batter in here. Okay, so you want to fill them about halfway. I'd say those are pretty good. I'll show you guys in just a second. Oh, Boo, where'd you go? Hi. Okay, so I've got now my 2 round 8-inch cake pans filled with my batter. So I'm going to put those in the oven for about 40 minutes. So I've already got my oven preheated to 350. Let me set my timer to 40 minutes. So now I'm gonna start on the custard filling, which I should probably start when the pies are like done, or the cakes are done. But I'll just go ahead and start now so I can show you guys how to do it. It's fairly simple, but I'll just go ahead and kind of show you guys so that way you can get the full, like, how to do this. So I'm gonna set my stove to medium. I've got a little, like, saucepan like this. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put 2 1/4 cups almond milk into my saucepan. So I got 2 cups. This, I'm gonna put that in my saucepan. I'm gonna do 1/4 cup. See what silly. I don't know why it's called a Boston cream pie if it's a cake. I have no idea. Because it's like custardy, like a pie. I really don't know, but like my friend was just like, I really miss Boston cream pie, and I was like, oh, I can do that. It's like a tart, right? And he's like, oh my God, no, it's not like a tart at all. It's nothing like that. And he was like really offended that I thought it was a tart, but now I know. So now I'm gonna do 2.5. So I did 2 1/4 cups soy milk. Now I'm gonna do 3/4 cups sugar. Sorry, I'm like dragging you guys all over the place. 3/4. So I got my 4th. I'm gonna do 3 of that. Ah. 2, 3. Okay. And I just made a huge mess everywhere, but that's okay. I always do that. try and move the sugar before it melts onto my stove. Why did I become vegan? It's actually a really weird, well, not weird, but like different story like than I've heard anybody else. Like, I actually adopted a fox, and I had never known anything about foxes. And like, they're cool, they're awesome. That's why it's my favorite animal. And I like got him, and I like was like, oh my gosh, like what do I do with this animal? Like he wasn't like a dog, he wasn't like a cat, he was a fox, and he was all over the place. But he was like, I don't know, I had a real connection with this animal for the first time, like than I've had with people. And I was just like, this animal was the coolest person I've ever met. And I started to learn like where he came from, and he was rescued from a fur farm. And I had no idea at the time that fur farms were a thing or that they existed. And so like I did some research on it, and I was like, oh my god, like this exists, like this is a real thing, this is fucking horrible. And then it kind of led me down the rabbit hole of like, well, foxes go through this, and you know, cows go through this, and pigs go through this, and chickens go through this. And it kind of led me down that rabbit hole of like animal rights, of like what they all go through. So then I kind of was just like, oh shit, like I love animals, I've always loved animals, so like why am I eating them, kind of thing. So, and then I started to like become vegetarian and then work my way to vegan, because I just didn't know, like at the time, like I grew up loving animals my whole life, and then didn't realize that, you know, wow, eating them was not loving them, kind of thing. So, or that I could live without eating them. Like I just didn't know. And that's how most people are, and that's kind of why I do what I do, is because like I feel like by helping people, like it makes it easier for people that think they can't do it, or people that think it's hard when it's really not. Like I wish I had like some kind of like guidance when I was younger. PETA too, like I know I work for PETA too, and like they really helped a lot. Like they're like going vegan guides and stuff, like really helped me. There's different resources, like online resources and stuff help a lot. So, all right, well I've got my sugar. I'm gonna go back to the baking. But yeah, fun little story about why I went vegan. All right, where'd my receipt go? Okay, so now I'm gonna do 6 tablespoons cornstarch, and that is just regular cornstarch. You can get anywhere. I got this at the dollar store. So 6 tablespoons of that. But yeah, that's the, anyways, that's the fox that I have tattooed on my arm, in case anyone's wondering. I'm gonna do 6 tablespoons of just cornstarch. What's the inspiration for my username? I went by Chris for a while, and I still like to sometimes. It just depends. Because my last name is Christensen. And the Chris Moon thing was just because, like, I don't know, I like moons. It's kind of like a MySpace handle thing. Like, we're just like, it's cool, edgy at the time. Then I'm going to do 1/4 teaspoon turmeric. So turmeric is like, it's just a spice, but it's kind of mild, and I'm just using it for color. So in a lot of vegan recipes, like vegan tofu scramble, anything that you want to be yellow, like vegan, I don't know, tofu scramble, like you want it to be like yellow, like eggy. So same with custard. You want it to be, and I just got flour on my face. You want it to be like kind of an eggy yellow color, so it looks natural. And you don't want to use food coloring, because like that's very, like, I don't know. You can use turmeric, and it's a non-artificial, like, food coloring, basically. So I'm going to put 1/4 teaspoon into my mixture. And then I'm going to do, well, I'm going to wait on the next ingredients, because now we need to medium heat for 20 seconds after it starts boiling. So I'm going to start mixing this. You want to mix constantly, because if you don't, it could start to, like, crust on the bottom of the pan or bowl, so I'm just going to start mixing this. It doesn't take very long for it to start to boil. My music, like, preferences, like, I grew up listening to like Gorillaz and 3 Days Grace and Bullet for Valentine and Linkin Park and that kind of thing. Like that was Slipknot. Like that was always my bands growing up. And now like I'd say my music taste is definitely heavily influenced by Jeff, just because like I've started to get into like bands that he's toured with, and I've started to like listen to new music, and I've started to like go to or Warped Tour, because like being around bands like that has started to get my music taste a little broadened. Alright, so you just want to keep mixing this. You don't want to stop, because if you do, it could, like I said, burn the bottom. So just keep mixing it. And you can turn the heat up to like a medium high heat, because the thing is that the cornstarch won't activate to do what you want as a custard if you don't let it boil for 20 seconds. So once we get it to like boiling temperature, it's like good to go. What are you doing, Rory? So it takes a second, but it will boil if you just give it a couple seconds. It's kind of like making gravy. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like making gravy. And as far as having Rory, it was an experience. It was really, like, interesting. I don't know, it was really, like, Jeff was there, and he was really sweet about, like, my favorite thing was that he said, like, he had butterflies, and that really made me happy when Rory was born. But he was in, like, full surgical gear. It was really cute. Alright, so now it is boiling. As you can see, we've got, like, now a custard. Let that boil for about 20 seconds. I'm going to turn the heat down to medium. So, 20 seconds. So, when that gets to 20, I will take it off. Yeah, meeting my daughter, like, after she was born was the best thing ever. It was, and, like, having us all together was just, like, I don't know how to put it into words. Jeff didn't help deliver her, but he, like, was there and, like, held my hand the whole time, and I was loopy, and, like, he was just, like, constantly comforting me, and then Rory was here, and then he cut the cord, so that was really cool. Okay, so now I'm going to let that cool for about 5 minutes. In the meantime, I will show you guys how to make the ganache, and then I'll post like a picture later of the construction of the cake, because right now the cake's got like 30 minutes left, so like obviously I'm not gonna have time to show you guys all of that. So I'll just go ahead and show you guys how to make the ganache. When Rory's old enough and she can make her own decisions, she can dye her hair with whatever, you know, I don't even care. Like, she can dye her hair. And if any schools have a problem with that, they can fight me. Because I want her to be creative and do whatever she wants as far as her expression of herself. Alright, so ganache, that's what I'm working on now. If I can find my coconut cream. Okay. And my cup one. There we go. So I'm just going to put coconut cream in here. And I'm using literally coconut cream. You don't like, you can use coconut milk, but I highly recommend using coconut cream. Like, it actually says cream on it. I know there's like a million different kinds, so I would use this. And I'm just going to put this in a measuring cup. Now I'm only going to use the cream part. I'm not going to use the liquid in the bottom. I'll use that for something else. And the cream part is like this chunky stuff. So I'm just going to use that. And there's like liquid at the bottom you can see, which I just poured on the floor. That's cool. I didn't realize there was that much left in there. I'm a huge mess when I bake and cook or anything, so, and I'm like the clumsiest person you'll ever meet, so. But yeah, I'm gonna heat that for about 1 minute. And then I've got, it's hard because like I'm clumsy as it is, and then I'm trying to pay attention to you guys. So it's like already difficult, just me, myself, doing this. Anyway, so I'm gonna use mini chocolate chips. I'm using Enjoy Life brand. They're not very expensive, and you can find them at Kroger now. I didn't realize that till recently. But they're great. They're semi-sweet chocolate chips, and they are allergy-friendly and certified vegan. So they're great. So I'm letting my cream heat up for a second. Let me feel it. Nope, I'm gonna do another 30 seconds. Kroger's a store. It's like the same as Food for Less, Fry's. It's owned by the same company anyway. I actually got suspended when I was in high school for a week because I had, you know, like the clear retainers in your lip, like in piercings. I had a clear retainer and my teacher saw it and like told on me, and I was suspended for an entire week. So I didn't get a week of education because I had a clear retainer in my lip. So that's why if anyone gives Rory trouble, I will go to school and I will fight for her because that's ridiculous. Alright, so now I've got my coconut cream melted. It's warm and hot. So I'm going to put this whole bag of chocolate chips in it. Because you want to do about a 1 to, like, you want to do like 1 cup of the coconut cream to 3 cups of the chocolate chips. And then because of the heat of the coconut cream, pouring some of it out. Because of the heat of the coconut cream, it just like melts chocolate chips very easily. So you don't need to microwave them or do anything. You just have to melt them into the coconut cream. And that's it. And that's your chocolate ganache is going to go on top. Yeah, I had clear retainers in and I got in trouble. So, check this out. Chocolate ganache. That looks so good. I'm not even a big chocolate person, but I really like this. So this is going to go on top of our cake. And I will post pictures later because I've still got 24 minutes on the cake itself, so it'll be a while. But I can talk to you guys for a couple seconds before I go. Perfect. So check this out. And once that cools a little bit, it'll go on top of the cake. It'll look awesome. I'll post pictures. And I wanted to show you guys the custard. Like, it's definitely custard. So let that cool like a little bit longer, and then you can pour that in the mold. But I'm gonna heat it up a little bit before I construct the cake, just so it like melts into place. Yeah, so that's it. I just showed you guys I make that Gretchen's Bakery Boston cream pie. Cool. No, not cool. That's not cool. I was just saying cool. I was just something else. Is it okay if I kind of draw it? Yeah, sure. Yeah, have fun. Have a good day. Cool. Aw, thanks. Yeah, try to make this. It is, just type in vegan Boston cream pie, and it's the second recipe to come up, I think. But I'll post it too. Bye. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to any other shows. I might. Maybe go to Houston, but I'm not sure. Aw, thanks. Favorite all-time low song right now is Dirty Laundry, probably. Yes, I will support Rory with whatever she wants to do with her life. I'll cry and support. Yeah, I'll keep doing live streams. If I ever don't, it's just because like I've got something that comes up, but I'll try to do it like on a Monday or a different day. Bone char free sugar, is it more expensive? It is slightly more expensive, and that is just because you're not getting a filler. You're getting just pure cane sugar. So I would definitely like, it's worth the extra buck. I mean, just think about like, I used to tell myself this was like, if I thought, oh, this is too expensive, well, I bought like, it's a bad example, but like I bought a beer today. Like if I could afford that, or a soda, like if I could afford that, then I can afford the extra 50 cents for this like vegan sugar. And it's worth it in the long run for me. Rory's room is going. I haven't had time to really work on it. Because my thing is like, she's being so like great right now. She's just like crawling around by my feet. But normally it's like I'm like hands-on Rory like 24/7, so it's kind of like I don't have time to really focus on something. But as soon as I get some free time and the inspiration, I'll work on it. Oh, there she is. Oh, come here, big girl. I'm having a pride parade. My friend keeps trying to get me going every time I'm out of town, but like I'd like to. Hey, what you looking at? Cool. Well, I know her cowlick. She's got like the craziest hair. Alright, you wanna go hang out? Alright, well I'll let you guys go. Thanks for watching. I'll share it and I'll share the recipe later. Well, I'll see you guys next week. Or whenever. Bye!